All right, we are on air. It is February 9th. I can't find my calendar. Yeah, 9th. Thank you guys for coming. We're going to do a little check-in on how to get people talking about Backdrop. So first on our plate here is the newsletter, which hopefully will go out tomorrow because we're going to be doing a release of Backdrop tomorrow. So that'll be exciting. I don't know, Nate, what time of day you want to make that release. If we want to try and do it late at night, then maybe the newsletter shouldn't go out until Monday. But if you think the release will be ready today, we could do the newsletter tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see.
Okay. We will wait and see. But the newsletter is ready. It's in MailChimp. It is drafted. I was thinking this week that there might be other things we want to put into that newsletter, like if we wanted to promote the fact that we now have hoodies in all available sizes or new t-shirts or anything. It might be a driver to get people back to the website. I didn't think about that until yesterday, though. So I don't know, Tom, if you'd be willing to put like another paragraph at the end that just says something like, you know, support the cause you believe in or the software you're proud of, or some like little like empowering statement, and then just a link to the contribute page. That would be awesome. If not, it's not that important. We could put it in our next newsletter because we're supposed to have one every month now. So that might be something good to remind people of later if we don't have anything else to tell them. All right, so Backdrop 1.6 is the current newsletter. We should start thinking about what we want to tell people in the next newsletter. We've got a bunch of cool stuff going on. The forum, the new website redesign, getting a showcase of sites up. I think we can definitely come up with something to tell people about as soon as we have it ready to tell them. I think my concern would be, what if the forum isn't ready next month and the showcase isn't done and the homepage redesign isn't up? Like then what do we tell people? And maybe that's just a call to buy a hoodie or something. I don't know. Blog posts, we have one in the queue. Sam, I think it was Sam, wrote up a great tutorial on how to get Backdrop running with WAMP on Windows 10. Which was derived from a similar post he wrote on Drupal for how to get Drupal running on WAMP and Windows 10. And that is ready to go up, but I wanted our newsletter to go out announcing Backdrop 1.6 the same time as we had the 1.6 release notes up on our website. So I didn't want to publish the blog post until after everyone in the newsletter clicked through to it to see that it was the top post. But it's ready and can go up after that. I don't know, Tom, if you want to give that a read over. It's pretty technical, and I tried to do a first pass on it and kind of make the sentence structure a little less overwhelming, but because the content is so overwhelming, I'm not really sure there's much more we can do. But if you wanted to take a look at it and see if you see any obvious places where we could try and clean that up, that would be good. I also added some formatting, like bullets and numbers and headings and stuff, which you might want to adjust. The content I think is great, but I would like to make sure that it's useful for everyone too. Videos, it would be fantastic if we could get more videos of people doing stuff with Backdrop. I just think it's not kind of part of our daily routine as regular developers or users of Backdrop, and so it will take someone who kind of makes an effort to say, hey, I want to show people how to do this cool thing on Backdrop, and creates and promotes the video. So if anyone is doing that and you hear about it, we can promote other people's videos, but it would also be great to kind of get a feed of that going into like a Backdrop channel on YouTube, if and when that ever happens. Swag. We have new t-shirts with just the black color, the dark gray color with the logo on them. Everybody seems to like them. I am currently putting them on the website right now. I've got some issues with the formatting. I have a plan for how to fix it, but I didn't quite get it done before this meeting, so I'll do it after. New hoodies are on the way. They should be here today or tomorrow, and that is just a very small order to fill in the missing sizes. So we still have plenty of smalls and mediums because those tend to run a size small, but we're out of all larges, extra larges, and extra extra larges. So that's kind of what we ordered to hopefully be able to run out all of these now at the same time, but we'll see. That's not terribly likely. And then I think we have an issue going in the PMC queue about what to do should we run out of these hoodies, because they've gotten significantly more expensive since we ordered them last time. So I'm not sure it's the best use of Backdrop's money to do exactly the same order again. So we'll figure that out in the future, but we have some today. So if you want your Dragon hoodie, you better get it while they last. I don't think we have any more progress on business cards. If anyone wanted to create a business card with their own information and information about Backdrop, we do have an open source design. We tried to get them printed on Vistaprint, and it was kind of a bit of a failure just because of their general quality. And so I think next steps there would be to take it to a real printer where you can actually get like a test run done and adjust various different things as needed. Advertising. I think it would be good to advertise. We don't really have any budget for advertising. We don't know how much it would cost to advertise. We don't know what our returns on the advertising would be. I think we need to figure out a revenue model that would support regular advertising before we can actually do it. But I don't know anything about how that works, and would love it if we could get somebody who did know how that works to kind of head up advertising in general. Events. There are a lot of events coming up for Backdrop. It's been winter, which means in holidays and also Backdrop release, and there's been kind of a lack of Drupal events over the past few months, but now that's starting to ramp up again. In fact, next week we have SandCamp, which is our first Drupal event of the year. We're going to be doing a session on Backdrop. A couple weeks after that, there's a Drupal Camp Stanford where we've submitted a session. They seemed excited about it. They're trying to expand to more than just Drupal at the Stanford Drupal Camp. So we'll see if they end up taking it. We've got DEF CON Panama coming up in May, CiviCon in May, Nerd Summit. Oh, Nerd Summit's in March. If anyone on the East Coast wants to go to an event, that's a good one. And you can find more events on our calendar at backdropcms.org/events. All right, we have a lot of stuff going on backdropcms.org, the website. I think the most important thing is trying to figure out how to get from the theme and layouts we have now to the design that we have for backdropcms.org. Wes had started on this a while ago, and now he doesn't have any time to work on it anymore. And he had tried to create a sub theme of Basis for the new Backdrop theme, but it had lost all of Backdrop's branding and instead included Basis's branding, which is something we need to avoid, because if our brand starts to look like our product, that gets really confusing for people. So I created a bunch of issues in a private queue on GitHub and trying to work through them just for my own sanity in terms of restoring our brand to that theme. But it looks like it's going to be a lot of work just to try and get from where we are now back to where we are now. So last week I took a stab at, I was like, well, I don't really understand how Wes had architected this. I don't think I should mess up what he'd started. And so I started trying to just like change the layouts on the current site and see if that would be a faster path from what we have now to what we have now with a responsive drop-down menu. And I also got a little stuck in that process too. So I don't know if someone else wants to tackle the new homepage design, like it would be good to maybe do some strategy around that and figure out the least amount of work to get from where we are now to what we need, because I would love to get the homepage design up. We have this fancy new design. We had a couple of blockers. They've now been completely wiped out of our way. And the only thing preventing us from launching is the fact that we need to write the code. And that's usually something as developers we're pretty good at. But we seem to be kind of stuck on this right now. I think just because nobody really has any time. So if anyone is watching this video and likes doing theming, the backdropcms.org repository is on GitHub. And we would love anyone who wanted to take a stab at it to take a stab at it. So there's currently one branch called, I don't know what it's called. There's a new branch that Wes started. I have another new branch that I've started. Both of them create new themes that one is a sub-theme of Basis. The other one is an exact copy of the theme we have now, just without the layout stuff in it. But yeah, we need to figure out how to move that forward. And I think I'm kind of out of time to work on that because there's other stuff that's more pressing. So volunteers, definitely appreciated on that. Let's see. Showcase for sites built with Backdrop. This is something people keep asking about every time I try and pitch someone on Backdrop. They're like, can you show me sites that are using it? And I'm like, well, I can show you like my sites that are using it, but it would be really good to have a comprehensive list of that. We have a design for this as well. We just don't have any content on backdropcms.org, and I'm not really sure how to incentivize people to post information about the sites they're building. We know they're out there. We can see our numbers increasing every week. But I don't know. I think maybe we need to create some kind of a Blue Drop award or implement some kind of a badge system or something that would encourage people to post the work that they're doing. There's a bunch of other little things we're working on in backdropcms.org too. Those are the big doozies, the new homepage and the new showcase. Everything else is just kind of stuff we know we need to work on. I also, there isn't a section on here for forum, but I would love to talk about that because I think it's important for outreach as well. We've started a forum website at forum.backdropcms.org. It's not ready for prime time yet. There's one major blocker, and that's what I'm going to be working on today, which is getting Bakery module, which is a module that'll allow you to sign in from the forum website to backdropcms.org and share that session across both sites. Getting that working, I've got a couple of local sites set up that should be able to talk to each other, so I can test it now here, which is good. And if that works, we'll throw it on forum and maybe connect like forum to the API site first, just to make sure nothing explodes. And then we'll connect it to backdropcms.org and get that going. And once we have that, then people will be able to start using the forum. There are a couple of decisions to be made on the forum site. One of them is what architecture we should use. I'm kind of leaning towards just building a content type and view and taxonomy, not having any forum module running it. We also have two modules on there right now for evaluation, the one called forum and one called QA forum, which creates a Stack Exchange style question and answer interface. And I put those up there specifically so that people who are going to be using the forum could try them out and see if there are any particular features that one adds that we like. And in particular with the forum module, if there's anything we can't get without the forum module. Like there's a lot of kind of theming stuff together in a way that makes sense that I think doesn't need to be done in that module. I've already got a pretty good, so an example of that is the forum page itself. I've already got a view that puts all that together in almost exactly the same way. So I'm not really sure the forum module is providing anything there because that's not a view in the forum module, so we wouldn't be able to change it in the future if we needed to. I think that's right. There might also be a view. Anyway, there's just stuff that I think, and there's a lot of code there I don't think we need to maintain. The QA forum module is more to test. There's no forum page for that, but it's to test, add a forum post, add a comment to a comment, see what that looks like, how it feels to do it in that kind of a QA environment. And if there's anything there that we really like, we're not going to use that module, but we might be able to recreate that feature on one of the other two, depending on if we pick the content type or the module that provides the content. So just trying to see if there's anything there that we should learn from and replicate for experience. So then once we get that decided, we'll remove the two things we aren't going to use, and then we'll try and stick a theme on that website. Hopefully it will be a copy of whatever theme that we're using on backdropcms.org so that we won't have to reinvent the wheel again or make anything different. So it'll probably be a sub-theme of whatever that is with a specific section for forum so that we can style those listings and those comments and that whole experience of forum stuff in a way that isn't going to be in code that's also on backdropcms.org. Okay, well, I didn't write that. I didn't take notes while I was saying that out loud, but we can update this agenda later. Okay, other stuff. So we did that already. Analytics dashboard. So Wes created some great dashboards to help us track who's doing what on our websites. I haven't checked on them in a while, but if anyone's curious about that, the data is public. And that's it for today's agenda. Nate or Tom, do either of you want to add anything or talk about anything?
Nothing in particular. I think the outcome of the dev meeting will kind of determine when we make the release, and then that will determine when the newsletter goes out. But just looking at our queue of items, it seems possible that we could do it tomorrow. I think that we could, like, I can get through and merge these issues, but I kind of, I don't know, I'm a little bit uneasy considering we're fixing some regressions. Like if we introduce new regressions, I'm kind of worried about that. But basically, I don't think we should rush it.
I mean, what we decided is we would release tomorrow no matter what. And if we can't get a fix you're happy with, we'll just roll back the change we added in 1.6.
Yeah, well, I think, well, let's talk about that in the dev meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's been too long. That's the problem. So we have to really, we just need to figure out what's going to be in it. And we don't have to include all those bug fixes if they're not ready. Okay. Well, let's wrap it up and then we'll reconvene again in half an hour. Yeah. Thanks for joining.
Okay. Goodbye.